Peace. I want to speak on two stories today that got me a little bit disturbed, and I always would have to go back and always question the conscious community, especially the men in the conscious community, when they propagate and promote that we are so ready for war and we are so revolutionary and ready to go up against this system. One of the stories is a Department of Corrections sister, right? A sister who was still out even after gaining this career, where she was making $75,000 annually to be out there selling her body. She just got busted in one of them little cheap ass motels in Brooklyn in an undercover sting. Now this sister wasn't aware that she has a career, what I'm saying, lifelong career where she could be earning enough money to sustain herself, for quite some time. They don't go into the mental history of the sister or, what I'm saying, her previous background, but, they did say she was 26 and got caught and was on several sites, selling her body. She got busted for trying to get, $175 out of a undercover officer. The next story is a sister in Delaware, a queen in Delaware, who was 46 years old, who just copped out to probation for having sex with her 13-year-old daughter boyfriend, which is a problem in twofold, because at 13, you shouldn't have nobody that you claiming as a boyfriend, and definitely as a 46-year-old, you shouldn't be having sex with a young man of that age in a car, right? Now, this is the mindset of two queens at two different levels in their life, right? But it also goes to show you where the mentality of the majority of our women are and how far removed that they are from war. Because before we can even talk about war, we have to talk about the placement of our queen, because that is essential to us moving forward, in a progressive manner. We can't have no war if our queens are not in line. That's just not going to happen, right? I always say that we can't have war. I can't be going to war and my neighbor's going to work. That shit don't pan out. That's not going to happen. When you see these people who are nations and nations of men and women and children moving in a warlike manner, when you talk about what happened in Vietnam, what's happening currently in Syria and other places around the world that rise up, everybody is at war. You see what I'm saying? There's no, the kids is going to school. None of that. What you see on the news is little clips. You just see the men, and they're maybe out there throwing stones, or they may be out there in positions of war, and they see the bombings that the U.S. established, but you don't see the women, and that's because the women are back in the scenes, taking a progressive and an upfront leadership role in this. They are definitely active in it. Our women are not. Why? Because our women are caught up into this society and the culture of over-sexualization, right? And you see, these women had a career where she was earning a living and still decided to be out there, selling a pussy in a cheap motel, which is crazy, but not uncommon. I'm well aware of the lifestyle. I've seen women, I've seen doctors, I've seen nurses, I've seen politicians, I've seen a lot of these women selling themselves, short for a few dollars, and they have dollars, they have an income, things of that nature, but they're trying to keep up with its quote unquote norms of society. You see how in reality television, you see these supposedly professional women, now they have lawyers, right? Out there acting an ass on national television for a buck, right? So far removed of their queen-like nature. See, this is a constant now. You see what I'm saying? And why? Because it's culture-driven. And these women are trying to bridge that generational gap. No one wants to be left out. You see what I'm saying? So if you think this is what's going on, and it's becoming the norm on a daily basis, you feel left out. And you're trying to consciously and subconsciously compete with what's going on. You see what I'm saying? So we not ready for war. So when they out there dressing garb and telling you, yeah, we ready. No, far removed from that. You have close to 500,000 women on Instagram just being Instagram hoes, Instagram models, and they're lazy with it. You know what I'm saying? They're going on Instagram live and, begging people for dollars. You know what I'm saying? Shorts, join my site, log into my site for pennies, $7.99, things of that nature. And for what? So they could take that same $7.99 and take their ass to the Korean to get nails and hair, to get out there and take more pictures or go on live again to sell more pussy. And it's just a cycle and a cycle and a cycle and a cycle. So we far removed from that. And out of that 500,000, you know what I'm saying, that's on social media doing that, you have an extra probably 1 to 2 million who are just in society that's not even going that route, but are selling themselves short just to get $1 or to get next to Raheem or do Quan or whoever, you know what I'm saying? So they selling themselves out for that. That's not warlike at all. You know what I'm saying? So this is just something I need to get off my chest this morning, because I'm really disturbed by the people that keep promoting that shit, that try to tell you something that happened, again, 2,500 years ago, which has nothing to do with today, right? Because even if we take that as truth, everything has evolved. Time. Man has evolved. Nature has moved at a certain pace. Whether it's because it's disturbed by man through technology or not, we are moving at a different pace. So all that shit that took place back then is mute now when it's time for us to get warlike, when it's time for us to play for a position. You know what I'm saying? So before we can even talk, our queens have to be in line. And the queens can only be in line when you have some type of king that's ready to feed her. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just about the sex. Our queens are sexual by nature. That's the first thing we see when we see them. But the imbalance comes from is when we look at it and see them as only that. And we push them to see themselves as only that. That's what keeps us in a subservient mode. That's what keeps us away from being more than just workers and looking for jobs. Because when people push that, they want to keep your ass in servitude. Instead of saying, we're looking for inventors. We're looking for social technology that's going to move us in a manner to elevate us as human beings. You see what I'm saying? So stop pushing that shit. We ain't ready for war. You ain't ready for war, right? Because your sisters are still out there thinking it's about a pair of heels or a pair of tights that's going to keep them walking down the street and everybody looking at their goddamn backside and thinking that that's popping. And a wig or two that they're using as fucking hats. You see what I'm saying? Creating an image for you to get close to them sexually. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that that's going to save them. That's not. So we need to be mindful of that when people push that and try to tell you that you're ready for war. You ain't ready for war. You're ready to get slaughtered. Get your queens in line. Get yourself in line. Peace.